Shalom. Kol holo Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahushua Ba'ashum Rakai Kodash. The bonds of the apostles, the bonds of the elders. At Great Millstone, Ruel and tells his truth. Much respect to you brothers out there to preach his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle David, hope for electing the speckled bird and one says Shalom. So I saw that one of the elders, I believe it's Elder Yasharama, had posted up this video. And I checked it out, and very informative, but it also shows you how these Edomites think. They wishing and hoping that their kingdom is going to continue forever, right? It reminds me of the conversation. I already said it a lot. Conversation I had with appear to be Edomite that works across from me. They got their great white hope in office, and he's going to turn things around. Well, World War III is going to happen regardless. World War III is going to happen regardless, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was the Biden administration, as you see in the title. They just went ahead and gave the green light for Ukraine to get I forget it's about Scout missiles or something like that. Very long range and precise missiles to strike in the heart of Russia. And what's that going to do? That's going to escalate. It's going to escalate war. We're already in World War III. Now it's time to really, really get it going, really get it escalating, where all the other nations join. And appear to be Edomite. He goes into that how Russia is getting ammunition from who's it getting it from? I have to play the video. I think it's Iraq. No. But I know North Korea is helping them out. But we'll play the video. Let me go get some scriptures real quick, and we'll go ahead and play the video. Proverbs 21 and verse 1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Shah as the rivers of the water. He turneth whithersoever he will. Right? It's the Lord's movie. It's the Lord's game. It's the Lord's chess piece. Right? There's nothing that you can do to stop it. He's controlling these wicked elites. Rather they know it or not, he's controlling these wicked elites to make their moves, telling the Biden administration, hey, let's escalate this war. Which, you had what's that man's name? Albert Pike as well. Right? This is pretty much already planned for World War III to happen. To have a one world government, one world religion. This man really thinks he's going to accomplish that. But he's not going to enjoy his feast. Right? So once again, the Lord controls the wicked. The Lord controls the kings. Right? They're doing what the Lord wants them to do. Psalms 49 and verse 11, the inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and the dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Who was doing that? That's Esau Edom. All right, going around calling the lands after his own names. All right, and they're thinking that their houses is going to continue forever. With Trump being in office, man, they got these Edomites got their second win. They feeling so good. We got our boy in office. Everything is looking up. Man, it's going to be so great. But what you're going to see is destruction, chaos and destruction coming upon Babylon the Great regardless. All right. Let's get this real quick. Job 14 and verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, right? Your kingdom has a time where it's going to degrade, it's going to be destroyed, right? All things come to an end except for the kingdom of heaven, right? Our kingdom is going to stand forever, and this kingdom is not going to be remembered. Only thing it's going to be remembered by is ultimate destruction. It's going to be a remembrance of how not to govern your kingdom, how not to conduct yourselves. Other than that, all these other kingdoms that were before it is not going to be remembered, right? This place is going to be a perpetual waste, a perpetual destruction, right? Left as a memorial. Once again, left as a memorial to the other nations. This is how you, this is this is how you shouldn't govern your people, how you shouldn't rule the world. Let's go ahead and play this video real quick.
Oh, no. I really, really wish this were clickbait. But we are now getting substantially closer to World War III, and this was not on my bingo card today. My bingo card today was look at real estate, look at more real estate, and look at more real estate.
And like I said, they're thinking that their house is going to continue forever. It's not. All right. Man, you know, if you have all these, I know for myself, having conversations with these Edomites, they're so happy. They're so happy. But if they're truly paying attention to the news, this should scare them. All right. But for us that's in this walk, oh man, this is crazy, man.
Not this. The United States is now lifting the final restrictions for weapons to be supplied to Ukraine. And this risks a substantial escalation where we could be looking at just how Israel strikes Hamas or Hezbollah. We could be looking at Ukraine striking deep into Russia.
Yeah. And that's going to escalate to World War III, man. It's going to escalate because who is funding Ukraine? Babylon the Great, America, right? America is using Ukraine to fight to pretty much weaken, so-called weaken the Russians, man. But as we read, if I'm not mistaken, Ezekiel 38, hey, they're going to wake up the bear. They are going to wake up the bear, and total destruction is going to be upon this kingdom. So buckle up. Make sure you make your call on election sure.
Specifically the Kursk region, which we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I want you to know about this. We need to start with politics, and then I want to talk details, missiles, weapons, destruction, and the battlefield. Donald Trump is expected to force a negotiated settlement between Zelensky and Putin. Donald Trump is considered to be willing to talk to Putin. He said it himself.
Yeah. And this is what these, conversations I had with these Edomites at my job. It's like, man, the war, there ain't going to be no war. It's pretty much going to be de-escalated. Oh, man, we're good. Our kingdom is back,
Putin has said he's willing to talk to Trump and negotiate a deal. Donald Trump has suggested let's just freeze the borders where they are now, come up with a negotiated settlement where there's a buffer zone between the two, and end the war within 24 hours. We don't have all of the specific details, but obviously ending the loss of life and the spending on killing is generally deemed to be a good idea. Of course, Ukrainians say, wait a minute, we're giving up our territory here. We're really talking about 1% to 2%. But what really accelerated this drama are two things. Number one, Donald Trump winning potentially means the end to the endless supplying by the United States, the Biden administration, Emmanuel Macron, the Germans, and many within Europe or around the world, to continuing to bolster Ukraine without any hope of negotiating. In fact, when we look back into 22, there were peace deals written and then torn up, potentially by our administration purposely to keep the proxy war against Russia going. Think about this for a moment. It's strategic for multiple.
I believe I mentioned, this might be one of the parts, but I believe I mentioned this, right? The U.S. is using Ukraine to fight Russia. to so-called weaken them. But as once again, as we read in Ezekiel 38, if I'm not mistaken, the bear's going to be woken up.
Reasons. Number one, you prop up Lockheed Martin, whom we're going to talk about in just a moment, because Lockheed Martin supplies some of the weapon systems that we're going to be talking about. But other than that, I mean, I'll look into their stock. It's probably already propped up. But other than that, also consider that the Biden administration has a lot of political lobbying that has come to it. I mean, all politicians get a lot of war money that come to them.
Look at that, man. This man loves death, right? They get so much money off of death, off of funding these wars. And you have a lot of veterans, a lot of even active military realizing this. Man, we fighting a banker's war. They getting rich off of this, right? They sending us to die while they getting rich. They sending us to pretty much murder people while they getting rich. You have a lot of people that's within the military waking up to that.
This is why they call them neocons sometimes, right? But anyway, what's really added fuel to this fire is Donald Trump winning, because it seems like, oh my gosh, Ukraine might only have 2 months left to win the war. That's a fear that people have. I mean, what are you, mid-November right now, inauguration's third week of January, you got 2 weeks, or 2 months left during the cold of winter, some of the harshest war months. But what's also added to this catalyst is that now you have not only Russia getting more aggressive, probably because of this win. Russia has been increasing their drone strikes, their missile strikes and sign.
Man, it's a, hearing that and reading the scriptures, if you ever seen some of these war footages, these recent war footages with Russia and Ukraine going at it, they have a lot of these suicide drones. It's like, what's the point of even fighting anymore? What's the point of even fighting anymore if all you got is suicide drones? You see? So it's another reason why when we get in power, these nations are going to give up their weapons of war, right? And they're going to be turned into plowshares. They're going to be turned into farming equipment. You're not going to have weapons of war, right? The only ones that's going to have weapons is us, right? We're going to have those weapons. We're going to have the swords and all that, right? Because, we're going to be the judges. We're going to execute judgment, right? Got to remember the other nations, they're not under the covenant, right? They are going to learn our ways, but they're not going to be perfect. We're the ones that's going to be perfect. So, whatever they do according to, whatever they law break according to the law, is what it is. They got to suffer that punishment unless we'll have mercy upon them, right?
Of Ukraine, they are moving across the Dnipro from the essentially from the eastern portion of Ukraine deeper into the west. Kharkiv attacks, you name it. At the same time, Ukraine thought, well, maybe if we go attack Russia and we end up getting the Russians caught flat-footed in their own territory, will stop their progression against us. And so
I remember seeing that. It's probably like last year or so, maybe even 2 years ago. I don't know, but I remember seeing that where they hit parts of Russia. But and he'll explain it.
they've escalated their attacks inside of Ukraine as we are now approaching the 1,000th day of this war. Speaking of thousands, North Korea is now potentially thinking of sending 100,000 troops to fight in Russia against Ukraine.
Check that out, right? War is escalating, right? War is escalating. This is the plan of the Lord. Gathering these other nations, whether they realize it or not, to the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, right? The Lord's judgment, right? All the chess pieces are moving into place. It's just that, these people want to see whatever they want to see. World War III is going to happen regardless. whether you like it or not.
Probably first to mop up the Kursk region and then to actually potentially incur Ukraine. This is why the Biden administration is also now thinking, okay, well, maybe if we strike deeper into Russia, we could prevent some of this. The Biden administration has specifically said they will send as much aid as possible prior to the Trump inauguration. We already know that.
As much aid as possible. That means they are escalating war. Right? Trump is trying to de-escalate the war. All right? As we just read, World War III is going to happen regardless. We're going to read it again. Proverbs 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah as the rivers of the water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. It's the Lord's movie, man. The Lord is having them make those moves. Let me see if I get some more. Proverbs 21 and verse 12. The righteous man wisely considered the house of the wicked, but power overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. You see, we're coming into the time where all the atrocities, all the wickedness that they have done unto our people and the whole world and even the other nations, they're going to have to pay for that. The Lord is going to execute judgment upon these people. This is Proverbs 21 and verse 29. A wicked man hearteth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way. So be very thankful. Be very thankful that you're not stiff-necked and that you're taking heed unto this truth. As we'll get, the Lord's going to give you protection for that. Verse 30. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah. You see, you may think, these Edomites may think that they can, get away with all the war crimes or everything that they have done to our people. Oh, we gonna fight God and win. No, you're in his trick bag. Proverbs 21 and verse 31. The horse is prepared against the day of battle. But check this, but safety is of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah. And we praying for safety, man. Safety, being covered in that time. Because as we see right here, Donald Trump has announced that he's ready to declare national emergency to tackle illegal immigration. Hey, well, the damage is already done. Those sleeper cells are already here, right? Already here. And they're ready for battle. So you can deport all the so-called immigrants all you want, all right? Which a lot of them is Jake. And a lot of them, like I said, is sleeper cells from these other nations. You can do that, but the damage is already done. Right? The damage is already done. The sleeper cells are already here. And with him doing that, declaring national emergency, don't be surprised because if I'm not mistaken, Trump has said not to listen to the prophets of doom. Right? This situation can be used to take the men of the Lord off the streets or have us not out there on the highways and byways anymore. So this is something to look at, if it does come to pass. Let's see, he plans to deploy the military to help deport illegal immigrants across the country, calling a necessary step to protect national security and enforce immigration laws. This move could spark significant debate and legal challenges. Well, hey, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Let me get back to this.
Musk and Trump together want to solve this problem so we can make deals with the Russians. Now, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Trump or Musk or Biden or whatever. I'm just trying to give you the information. We know that both Donald Trump and Elon Musk are willing to work out deals with China, with Russia, and there are reportings, obviously we can't say we know this, but there are reportings that potentially Putin asked Elon Musk, hey, would you mind not enabling Starlink over Taiwan, which is listed as coming soon at your SpaceX website for Starlink?
Let me see, I might fast forward.
Flanks of the Ukrainian military. This now allows you to take a lot more land a lot faster. Now, what does that potentially mean? Well, it potentially means North Korea is going to run out there a little faster. And if North Korea...
So Salaki, I did fast forward it, but pretty much, which I might rewind it. Pretty much, the U.S. is giving the Ukrainians missiles. Let me see.
But what happens is, when you now load up the HIMARS, which we've already given to Ukraine, with precision strike GPS
Yeah, there it
guided
is.
ballistic missiles, you are giving Ukraine the opportunity to strike command centers, air defense systems, barracks, you name it, anywhere between 86 to 200 miles deeper into Russia than the forward flanks of the Ukrainian military. This now allows you to take a lot more land a lot faster.
Yeah, so it goes into, since Korea is working with Russia, they're going to end up sending those troops a lot quicker, right? So war is going to be escalated. And hey, for us that's within this truth, we all about that, man. Obadiah 1 and verse 15, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is near upon all heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Right? What you have done upon us, the Lord is going to return that unto you tenfold. Check this. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. Your kingdom is not going to be remembered. Your kingdom is not going to be praised. Our kingdom is going to be praised. Our kingdom is going to be remembered and looked upon. Right? You're going to be nothing. Right? We're going to be the ones that's going to be able to travel the stars, the moons, and all these other planets. While you up there in your lowest state. Let's see. Let me see. I might get some more. Let me see. Baruch 4 and verse 24 through 25 in the GNT. Just as the neighboring cities watch as you were taken captive, so will they see the eternal power coming in glorious splendor to rescue you. You see? When Russia gets geared up to send these missiles upon Babylon the Great, which is going to happen regardless. Trump is talking about having peace talks, de-escalating the war. Nah, it's going to happen regardless, right? So when it happens, the missiles are inbound. What the Lord's going to do? He's going to deliver you. He's going to rescue you. My children, endure Yahweh Shem Shai's punishment with patience. Your enemies have persecuted you, but you will soon see them destroyed at your mercy. Hey, call Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. So endure this hardness as a good soldier. Whatever you have to go through, spiritually, mentally, and physically, whatever the Lord has brought upon you, and you know, that's your story that you have to go through. Hey, go through it. Pray to the Lord that you endure it. Because you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. And one of the best things to gain is to see the destruction of your enemy.
Now, what does that potentially mean? Well, it potentially means North Korea is going to run out there a little faster. And if North Korea runs out there a little faster, we start escalating war pretty quickly, especially since North Korea is supplying ammunition. They've already been supplying ammunition to Russia. Iran, who's all in cahoots with this, of course, has been supplying drone equipment, and actually just mass manufacturing drones, for Russia. But think about this. We've seen so many videos of drone warfare of these various different countries fighting each other. But now we are going from this drone warfare of try to attack and kill individuals to let's precision strike, much like Israel does against Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis.
It's bitch tactics, man. Elders, I believe myself the other day as well, you know, went into that. You know, that's bitch tactics. You know, because when it comes to, with you fighting a man face to face with honor, you get your ass handed to you. But bitch tactics, oh yeah, you know, Edom excels in that.
Precision strike missiles are a game changer. Now remember, ballistic missiles are
Game changer, and it's going to escalate the war. So us seeing these posts like this, these videos like this, it's a praise and matter. Praise unto Yahweh Bashim Shah. Because we seeing everything coming to fruition before our very eyes.
missiles that you power for really the first phase of flight, about the first 30 to maybe 50%. And then they're sort of on a trajectory, and they're called ballistic because you have an arc, kind of like bullets have an arc, even though it seems like they don't, they do. Anyway, that's different from certain types of missiles, which are powered all the way until they impact. But the Biden administration has stated that if North Korea gets involved with this fight and they bring troops to Russia, then they have already said that North Korean troops would at that point be fair game. In other words, fair game to kill an attack. This now means Ukraine is not just fighting Russia, backed by the United States. It means Ukraine backed by the United States. So Ukraine's just a proxy. This is a proxy war. You fund and supply somebody else to fight your war for you to weaken your enemy. You want to weaken Russia, cause problems, fund Ukraine, let them do the dirty work.
Hey, I know the bear doesn't have horns, but hey, you about to feel the bear horns. You about to feel them claws.
For you. Ukrainians lose their lives, no American boots on the ground, they say. Yeah, okay. So now really what you're doing is you are continuing a proxy war, not just against now Ukraine, but also against North Korea, which is also against Iran and China. So now you have China, Iran, North Korea, Russia versus the EU, England, Great Britain.
And pursuant to the scriptures, you're going to lose badly, man. You're going to lose badly. Sirach 25 and verse 7, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man to have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. Right? Yahweh Ratazah will be able to see the fall of our enemies. Right? Let's get this. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1, verse 1, but at the times and the seasons present, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah coming as a thief in the night. It's not going to come as a thief in the night for those that are looking and watching, right? But for everybody else, oh man, it's like a smack in the face. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. So, yeah, it's not going to overtake us. But these people, all right, it's like a pregnant woman. She's doing good. She's fine. And then those birthing pains hit. All right, it's going to smack you in the face. So they're not ready. They're not ready. With this war, this proxy war, America is escalating the situation instead of de-escalating. It's going to get a lot worse for them. Making a lot of enemies, or making your enemies really lick their lips. They're joining together to take you down, right? But Yahweh Ratazah is an edifying lesson. I say go watch this video if you want. Very informative. But Yahweh Ratazah is an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushua, Ba'ashum, Rakah, Kodash, the Master of the Apostles, the Master of the Elders, the Green Millstone, Ruel, and Tarsus True, and the Abba Shalom.